Let me think about it for a second. There's panhead, there's knucklehead, there's hothead, there's bobblehead. That's not it. What is it? It's flathead. It's flathead. That's what it is. Here it comes. Scott Schiller for Ron Fitzpatrick Jeep Parts and Team G503. In the previous video we posted, you saw Norm and the guys out there at Jimmy Strauss Jeeps starting to do a rebuild on an engine. And in the first video, they actually took the block, cleaned it, bored it out, and installed sleeves in it. In this video, we're going to show you the next step on how you deck the top of the block and kind of make everything go together and clip the top of those sleeves back off so we got a nice clean surface for our new head gasket to go between the head and the actual block itself. Check it out.
Tape up here he's taken off was what told him how far the bore goes down the cutter to set the shelf for the sleeve before the sleeve is put in. Now he's going to cut all the way through on the new standard bore cut through the sleeve. The other one was just to set the depth for the shelf of the sleeve he's pushed in. As you hear it, it's a real clean, smooth, solid sound of it cutting a real fine, sharp, smooth surface.
Chinese metal.
No, that's, oh yeah, the sleeve.
Argentina. No, these come from Argentina.
The sleeves do?
Yeah. Tight. Yeah, it's fairly tight.
He's just test fitting to make sure his cut is good before he powder hones it. These three now have to be cut to the same size this one is. So this is now standard as if it was a brand new original block. Set this thing up to where the engine's perfectly parallel with the deck of this surfacer so that he gets an even cut all the way across, and he does that by adding blocks and shims that are only a few thousandths in order to make sure that this surface is perfectly level with this deck. By checking the teeth from one end of this block to the other, he runs it across here to make sure that they touch evenly all the way across. That way he knows he's starting with a perfectly level platform so that he can cut this surface flat and not at a tapered or an angle, because I've seen people do that where they don't line up the block properly. On a V8 it's even more difficult because you have to set the block up on each bank, or at least on a Jeep engine you have one flat surface and you have one flat surface at the bottom of the oil pan part of the block so that you can actually create a very smooth cut. Now he will cut up to 12 thousandths, I think 15 is the maximum he will go to cut this surface down in order to create a nice flat seal for the head gasket.
Yeah, I came up here to retire and they got me working harder than I ever worked in my life. These blocks are cool as hell, you have to show. A few miles out of my dress.
To one of the main couches I tried. Both sides of the block to get it to where he knows that this cutter is parallel with the deck of where that head is, so that it makes an even level cut.
I have to because I bored off that head. 65.
So he's running it to the other side now so that he sees that it's going to be the same. If not, he has to readjust it with shims.
Yeah, see, this is 60, so you got to take 5 more out. Went too heavy on these shims.
what I'm talking about, right? Oh, I looked at the cylinder ones, they look fine.
But they cold and
Yeah, did you ask him about cheaper pumps?
Take it out. I'm going to take 3.
3,000s?
Yeah.
The total's 12 or 15 you're allowed. 15?
10 to 12.
Oh, 10 to 12.
A couple of passes with the decking machine, both the Ford GPW block and the Willys MB block were resurfaced, cleaned, and ready to go. The next step will be power honing the cylinder walls and installing the pistons and the crankshaft. I'd say that milling machine's a pretty awesome piece of equipment, and I'm telling you what, keeping up with Norm as he goes back and forth on the Willys MB engine and the Ford GPW engine at the same time, it's like L134 heaven. Anyways, if you'd like to follow along what we're doing, you like the Team G503 videos, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button at the bottom, and click that little bell too, because I'm going to kind of be going through this engine rebuild process rather quickly and be posting videos quite often so we can all keep up and see what happens from start to finish. Until next time, my friends, keep it safe and happy Jeeping.